The Orion Conspiracy is a murder mystery set in the future on the edge of a black hole. It's got SVGA graphics, sampled digital speech, and a point-and-click interface.
And that doesn't stop it from being thoroughly lame and annoying. This game was developed by Divide by Zero, the same people who brought you Innocent Until Caught and Guilty, neither of which would exactly be called a classic.
But Orion Conspiracy, which is distributed by Domark and Spectrum Holobyte, is actually worse than either of those games. It's a CD-ROM full of wasted potential, and frankly it depresses me that these folks could release this game in good conscience.
The story is actually pretty intense and intriguing. There's a space station on the edge of a black hole, and one day a young crewman named Danny goes out to do some routine maintenance on the outer surface. Something goes wrong, and he falls into the hole.
The player is Danny's dad, Devlin McCormick, who has come to visit the station for the funeral. Someone slips a note under his door telling him that Danny's death was not accidental, but murder.
So it's up to you, in a fit of parental anguish, to learn the truth about your son's death. But beware, you can't trust anyone. That's why they put the word conspiracy in the title like that.
So, starting at the very beginning, this game got on my nerves before the title screen even showed up. I was not able to load up both the background music and the voice track at the same time. I had to choose one or the other no matter how I configured the memory on my P60.
Yeah, I ended up choosing the voice track because it was much funnier that way.
What do you mean funnier? This is not exactly a cheerful story.
No, but the voice acting is often so bad as to give you a good chuckle. Here's a bit from the ever-serious funeral scene, with Devlin delivering a heart-wrenching monologue.
To lose someone close to you, it hurts. Like no physical pain can hurt.
Now, the graphics on Orion Conspiracy are in fact a good bit better than the previous Divide by Zero games.
Yeah, take a look at this spaceship scene, for example.
And then keep looking at it, because the spaceships were the only thing they decided it was worth the trouble to render in 3D. See? The pretty ship docks in the ugly, badly colored 2D port.
That's bad planning. Kids, here's today's tip for Game Design 101. If you want to hide an ugly graphic, don't put it in the same screen with a really nice one.
Of course, most of the game looks like this. While the sprites are pretty well done, all the characters are more or less the same height and build, even the women.
And you're constantly looking at everyone from this funky three-quarter perspective. Throw in the short loop of body language, and you have some of the most awkward-looking conversations you've ever experienced.
It would have been so much more engaging if the designers had even considered the possibility of changing the camera angle every once in a while. I mean, the whole damn game takes place in a space station. Gray corridors, gray rooms, gray elevators. It's so dull! You have to do something to get people visually involved in the game.
Have to?
Well, okay. Apparently you don't have to. But it sure would have been a good idea.
Okay, can I complain about the gameplay now?
Sure, I can't have all the fun.
The actual interface is really easy to operate. Anything that you can possibly do at any given moment pops up at the bottom of the screen. Right-click to select your action or item, and left-click to do it. The screen is full of hotspots that show up when you pass the cursor over them.
This all sounds pretty good so far.
And it would be, except that the hotspots generally don't do anything unless you happen to be around at exactly the right time. Your possibilities are so limited it's pathetic. For example, here's the gym. Look at this exercise bike. Click on it and hear Delvin say,
It's one of those exercise bikes.
the only thing you can do is use the exit. Then there's the puzzles. After your options have been streamlined to a straight line, you are then confronted with puzzles that cross the line from challenging to downright obscure.
Translation. More than once, player Bob is going to be locked into a situation where he absolutely can't do anything else until he solves the puzzle, and he hasn't the foggiest idea how to do that. That's just not cool.
But don't worry, before this happens too often, the game will probably either bore or irritate you into just turning the darn thing off and playing Tetris.
The Orion Conspiracy is a dud, through and through. A worthwhile story and some powerful resources have been slapped together by a team that apparently didn't have a clue as to what makes a successful game.
Oh, I know. Let's have some 3D rendered spaceships. Everybody loves those.
And because those spaceships are the best part of the game, IE will now show you a few more shots of them, free of charge.
Oh my.
Oh. Ah.
Very nice, yeah.
Oh.